Good evening and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kite.
We saw another beautiful day. I swear, we're getting so lucky with the amount of sunshine we've been getting lately.
I know. I feel like normally this is like our rainy season, you know? Normally we start seeing a lot of cold fronts come through, a bunch of rain, but it's been pretty dry. And even with this most recent cold front that came through yesterday, we really didn't get a lot of rain, just a few sprinkles.
It really just weakened significantly. Up just north of us got plenty of rain, but right when it came to us, that rain dissipated very much so. So we're getting real lucky.
I'll take it. You know, the only bad part is the pollen did not get washed away. There's a ton of pollen out there, and it's still just hanging around. Everything's just covered in yellow. I had to go wash my car today.
Yeah,
I'll have to do it again in a few days.
Yeah, my car is covered. You can see it on the sidewalks, and that pollen count is staying high the rest of this week as well.
Yeah, we do have another chance for some showers again tonight, so maybe we'll get some relief from that, but still not a big widespread rain event, just a few showers possible, and then cooler temperatures, but so it won't be as hot, but it's still, you know,
some changes.
It's still warm, you know, it's not too bad.
We're getting lucky again. Yeah. The rain's happening overnight, and just a slight cool down as we go throughout the rest of the week, but we'll warm up quickly as we head towards the end of the week.
Yeah, that's great. So hopefully we'll keep seeing the sunshine here and no storms, and then we'll start to see all the flowers bloom around campus soon, and it'll be just like how it normally is here in spring.
Spring is my favorite time. The campus is absolutely beautiful.
Me too. I don't like the fall one bit, but the spring is great. So everything just comes right back to life, and it makes everyone very happy.
Yeah. So I'm going to take things out to the wall now and show you a look what's going on. Look at that live view right now. Doe Campbell Stadium, just another beautiful day. We have a mixture of some sun and clouds, but chilly start to the day. We really warmed up as we headed throughout the rest of the day. And just like those clear skies, we're seeing clearness on the radar. There's not much rain in sight yet. We'll have those rain chances as we go into the night tonight, but for now, we'll keep things dry. So if you're heading out, any dinner plans, you should be okay. Those rain chances will come a little later tonight. We'll dive in deep into that timing in just a little bit. Here's a look at the cold front that just pushed through our area. It's bringing it somewhat drier conditions, but what's actually going to happen is this other disturbance is going to come in from the northeast tonight. You can see rain already starting in Atlanta. That will push its way towards the Tallahassee area tonight, where we have a 50% chance of rain, and it's going to be a chilly one, 49 degrees. We'll keep that chance of showers, and even some rumbles of thunder is possible tonight after 9 p.m. That wind coming out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour will eventually bring us drier air, but for now we do have that chance of rain for tonight. Coming up for tonight's show, we'll keep the chance of showers and storms mainly after 9 p.m. going into the morning hours of Wednesday as well, but the sun will return and we'll get some dryness for the rest of the week. But we do have another cold front looking like it is on the way. That rain chance will return on Sunday, bringing us a chance of rain and also another cool down. But for now, we do have those rain chances tonight, and we'll take a deeper look at that with Jennifer to look at our local.
Thank you, Brittany. And looking out at Doe Campbell Stadium again with that beautiful sunset across the region, we're going to keep with the partly cloudy skies as we head on into the sunset time. So it may be a beautiful sunset if you head outside. Currently, right now, 75 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and just that northwesterly wind at 7 miles per hour. So it does feel quite gorgeous when you walk outside. Temperatures across the Big Bend: 73 degrees in Bainbridge, 75 degrees here in Tallahassee, and along the coastline there, 71 degrees in Apalachicola. They don't have any clouds in that region, just some sunshine across that area. Winds are out of the northwest and ranging across the region, 12 miles per hour in Quincy, 6 miles per hour along St. Mark's, a little bit slower over there, but with this northwesterly wind, it is keeping us a little bit drier. This will start to shift, though, from the northwest into the northeast, and actually bring us a little bit of some rain chances heading into tonight. Dew points across the region are very comfortable in the upper 40s across the area, and with this dew point, it's not very muggy outside. We're keeping things fairly dry across the region, so it is feeling quite gorgeous if you're heading outside. A perfect time to take your dog out for a walk or head out for a run right now. As the satellite is showing, nothing on the radar, so it is staying very, very dry out across the region. Starting to see some pop-up showers across Interstate 16 up in Georgia, so that will start to move on into the region. However, for the next few days, this high-pressure system will start to push into the southeast as that cold front does move on into the Atlantic, giving us some drier conditions heading into the next few days and into the start of the weekend as well. Tonight's forecast, we do have some storms across the region. 47 degrees in Thomasville, 50 degrees here in Tallahassee. We see the storms mainly in into after the midnight hours and into the early morning as well. Looking at the next 24 hours, we'll start to see the rain build up as we get into midnight. Areas like Monticello as well as Thomasville will see some of the heaviest of rains, and this will remain in the area mainly to the eastern portions of the Big Bend region heading into the 3:30 hour of tomorrow morning, and around rush hour is when the showers and storms will push off to the south, giving us that northeasterly wind and keeping things very, very dry for the area. So we'll start to feel a little bit better heading into the rest of the day tomorrow. That 50% rain chance for tomorrow, mainly in the morning hours heading into tonight. But that Thursday and Friday, keeping things very, very clear. High temperature around 73 degrees for Thursday, and that low temperature around 43 degrees will start to keep things a little bit chillier for those for Thursday. And into Friday and Saturday, that rain chances are very small into the weekend. 81 degrees will start to warm up as we get into Saturday. 81 degrees for Saturday with that low around 53 degrees. Rain chances do start to ramp up a little bit heading into Sunday and Monday. 40% chance of rain for Sunday with that high around 78. And for Monday, 50% chance of rain. We'll see the rain coming back to the region. I'm going to pass things off to Brantley with a look at the southeast.
Thanks, Jennifer. Other than that 50% chance of rain tomorrow, it looks like a beautiful week ahead. Temperatures right now are pretty warm across the southeast. We're seeing temperatures around the mid-70s for Tallahassee and throughout the central part of Florida. Tampa down to 76 right now. Orlando is our hot spot on the map this afternoon at 82 degrees. Really warm there, and they're seeing lots of sunshine too. All across the southeast, except for places like Atlanta and Montgomery, a few showers moving through those areas right now. Our temperature change over the last 24 hours has been pretty significant for places in the southeast. Montgomery 18 degrees less than what it was this time yesterday. Atlanta 12 degrees down from this time yesterday, and Charleston down 15 degrees from this time yesterday. That's all thanks to a cold front that moved offshore earlier this afternoon, and we're going to see that cold front start to stall out across the eastern part of Florida, and that's going to keep rain showers in the forecast for that area and for our eastern part of our viewing area over the next 24 hours or so. Winds are coming out of the north or northeast for portions of the southeast, including the Arklatex region and over Mississippi right now. We're seeing winds generally between 10 and 15 miles per hour, although we are seeing a few areas where it is gustier than that. Tallahassee at about 11 miles per hour. Once you get down to the coast, we start to see the wind shift down to be from the west there, and that's going to continue for the next several hours until another system starts to move through. Dew points have dropped as well as the temperature, so we are seeing drier air now down into the 40s for Montgomery and New Orleans. Down where we have these green colors, that's where we have more damp air. So the parts of Florida that have not yet seen that cold front are still hanging on to the moisture there. Around 60 for the dew point in Tampa, 52 in Orlando, Miami at 65. But once this cold front starts to sag to the south, we'll see that drier air start to filter in there, and then this high pressure will eventually build in here in just a couple days. But before that happens, we will continue to see these rain showers. A shower starting to pop up this afternoon and lingering into the evening for places around Atlanta and northern Georgia. Those showers are just going to continue to drift more towards the south, and we could see showers popping up in northern Florida as well. Central Florida starting to see some showers too in Orlando, Melbourne, Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach. Those areas could see a few pop-up showers going into the rest of your evening. And then our next 24 hours here, we see a patch of thunderstorms starting to blow up just east of Tallahassee late this evening and into tomorrow morning. That's going to be mostly for places east of Tallahassee over to Jacksonville down to Orlando. So just pockets of heavy rain, maybe even some hail, a very small hail threat there. But it is definitely a possibility. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see this low pressure system off the coast of Florida get a little bit more organized and help push that rain farther away. We do have a few alerts in effect, but they're all for the coast right now. We have a small craft advisory all across the Gulf Coast and across the East Coast as well. We do have a few gale warnings in effect too because of very high winds on the water. We also have a fire weather watch in effect for places near Panama City. Tonight, we're going to see temperatures in the lower 50s for Tallahassee and Jacksonville, into the 60s for the rest of Florida. Places where the cold front's already passed through across the southeast, we'll see temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Tomorrow, a great day is on tap for most of the southeast with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the lower 70s.
Thank you, Brantley. And yes, as we look at what's happening across the nation, however, apart from the southeast, areas like Nebraska and even portions of the Central Plains are experiencing devastating flooding right now.
Yeah, and so regions like in Nebraska, you've heard it in the news recently, Minnesota and the Dakotas, lots of high river levels right now, and you can see with the NOAA spring flood outlook for 2019, very high risk for flooding up in that region.
Yeah, if you look at the spring flooding outlook, this is typically what we see for the for heading into the later spring. As ice packs start to melt, these rivers do experience flood stages. However, we are expecting major flood stages across very important rivers across the central portion of the United States, including the Mississippi, Great Plains, Midwest, and all those areas are expecting major flooding heading into the next month or two.
Yeah, and all this really started with that very strong storm system that bomb cyclone we were tracking earlier in the month. It really surged that warm air up towards the high plains, and that really just was the catalyst for all this flooding.
Yeah, they ended up having record flooding in these areas. I know a lot of these rivers have seen already the flood has occurred in these areas, and they've actually exceeded around $1 billion is what is forecasted for this disaster as well. So flooding is a major issue in these areas, and it is something that we are looking into heading into the next month or two. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not like very. The impact of it is what it's very high.
Yeah.
We'll say this usually happens every year, but it's more severe this year than compared to recent years.
Yes. We're actually going to send things back over to the wall with you, Michael. You're going to give us a look actually at the nation as well.
Yeah, so we're going to see why that river flooding is happening across the nation. You notice how it's very warm across the plain states. Lots of us are in the 60s out towards there, 61 in Kansas City. A little bit cooler up towards the Dakotas with 41 in Bismarck, 50 in Minneapolis. But the only cold spots across the nation is actually up towards the northeast. That colder air is just hanging on just a little bit of a dip in the jet stream up towards the northeast. But that warmer air will eventually make it to northeast as we go later into the week ahead of our next storm system off towards the Pacific. Dew points behind that cold front we had yesterday really didn't give some much shower activity for Tallahassee, but drier air across a lot of the nation. The only exception is down towards central and south Florida with those little higher dew points in the 50s and 60s. But notice the very dry air up towards the northeast due to that very cold air mass still in place across that part of the region. Now, if you take a look at the water vapor, drier air across the northern Gulf Coast states with that orange you see up there. And then also some moisture starting to emerge into the plains ahead of that next storm system. Series of storm systems moving into the Pacific coastline, so we're expecting a lot of rain out towards the northern part of California and into the Sierra Nevada mountains for these next few days. But you notice that dry air behind that cold front. However, there's just this little upper level disturbance out towards the southern Appalachians in places like Atlanta, Greensville, and Clemson out towards there. And you can see some showers already popping up in the Atlanta metro region, Peachtree City, up towards Blairsville and Dalton, just to name a few places there. And this will dive south towards the Tallahassee region as we go into the overnight hours. Out towards the west coast, this is first of a series of storm systems that will give a lot of rain out towards Oregon, northern Nevada, and northern California. And so rainfall amounts are going to be high over the next few days out there. And if you're in the higher elevations, have to deal with the snow once again. So winter storm watches and warnings and winter weather advisories are in place out there. But with the warm air mass across the northern plains, snow melt still happening. River levels are high, so we have these flood advisories and flood warnings in effect. And so these will remain in effect for the next few weeks at least, once that snow melt continues to die down. The next 24 hours shows you that storm system out towards California, and also this upper level disturbance moving down towards Florida allows that low to develop off the Atlantic coastline. So any of those East Coast beaches have to be worried about rip currents and some high surf, especially for those out for spring break. But the rest of the nation, very quiet, very mild, and honestly very nice for to wrap up this march out in the nation. Now for tonight's forecast, notice how it's a little bit chilly out towards the northeast with temperatures in the upper 20s and around the freezing mark in the 30s. Warmer air out towards Texas with temperatures in the 50s and low 60s. And then tomorrow, notice how that warmer air surges well up towards the north once again in the central and northern plains. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s up there. Now let's send off to Brantley with a second look of our local forecast.
All right, thanks, Michael. Our Doak Campbell camera, this is on top of the Pensacola garage, making a nice view for us this evening. And we are going to see the sun start to set in the next hour or so. So it's a pretty sight right there. We're going to see temperatures drop too as that sun goes down. Right now we're at 71 or 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Temperatures around the Tallahassee area also generally in the mid-70s. Quincy down to 72. Perry up to 77 right now. We are seeing temperatures a little bit cooler along the coast as well. Our wind is generally coming out of the north or northeast right now, except for places along the immediate coastline where we are having some onshore flow. Wind is generally around 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. Our satellite radar is looking clear for right now, but we do have some showers that are moving in from southwestern Georgia, and that's going to continue to be the case as we go into the late night hours into the early morning. And that's all thanks to a cold front that pushed through the area and then a disturbance following right behind it that's going to push into our area. So a 50% chance of showers and storms tonight. So our stargazing forecast not looking too good for us. We do have poor viewing conditions. Even if we don't see a lot of rain, we will have a lot of cloud cover in the area. The sun goes down at around 7:53 p.m. and it's going to be a little chilly tonight, around 49 degrees. Our forecast model times out the rain for us. We see heavy rain starting to push into the eastern parts of our viewing area for places like Monticello, Thomasville, and Valdosta. There is a small hail threat associated with these storms too. And then as we go into the early morning hours, we'll see that start to sag towards the south, and then heavy rain for the coastline as well for places like St. Marks and Perry. But by early tomorrow morning, all that rain is out of the area, and Tallahassee will be left again with mostly sunny skies. We're going to see temperatures drop a little bit though now that cold front is passed, so we're down to 68 degrees tomorrow with a 50% chance of rain just in the morning hours, so just a few lingering showers are possible. And then lower 70s on Thursday, warming back up to the lower 80s by the weekend. Our next big chance for rain is going to be as we head into next week with an unsettled weather pattern with temperatures in the lower 70s and rain chances at around 40 to 50% on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's a really nice forecast for the rest of the week, Brantley, until that cold front moves through. But, of course, we're going to go to our events, and the main event for this week is, of course, our men's basketball team out towards Anaheim for the Sweet 16.
Yeah, out there in California. It's going to be a great game out there, and it's going to be against Gonzaga at 7:09.
Yep, 7:09 p.m. That will kick off the Sweet 16 for the NCAA
Very specific
tournament.
time they have there for it.
Yeah. And if they do win that game, they'll face the winner of Michigan, Texas Tech in the Elite Eight on Saturday.
Well, that's great. We're always cheering on our Noles, especially as we get into March Madness here. We also have beach volleyball versus Grand Canyon at 7:30 a.m. on Friday and against Tulane at 11:30 a.m. on Friday as well.
Yeah, beach volleyball doing very well, ranked number 3 in the
Wow.
nation based on what I saw yesterday in the morning. So doing pretty well to start out their season out there.
Yeah, and softball also in full swing as well. We're going against Virginia this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Friday it's at 5 o'clock in the evening, and then Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock and Sunday at noon. So
Yep.
a full list of events here.
Yeah, and softball also doing well, ranked number 3 in the nation also, so they're doing pretty well. And then finally baseball playing Boston College here in Tallahassee.
That's awesome. Again, that's Friday. It's going to be at 5 o'clock, Saturday at 6, and Sunday at 1. So we'll have a pretty active campus as we go into this weekend with lots of sports events around. So we'll have to keep that in mind if we have any plans this weekend. And you can get tickets for these games online as well.
Mm-hmm. And weather's seeming pretty good for all those days. The one exception Sunday with that cold front moving through, but only a 50% chance of some storms.
Yeah, so not a washout by any means, but we could see a few thunderstorms that might interrupt a few games, might see a few delays there, but we'll start to time out that forecast a little more carefully as we get closer to the weekend. So maybe Thursday or Friday, we'll have a better idea of what the forecast holds for those games.
Yeah, exactly, but it is looking good in Los Angeles for the Sweet 16, and Elite 8 games out there in Southern California.
That's awesome. Now we're going to take things back out to the wall with a look around the state of Florida with Jennifer.
And it is warm across Florida. We're looking at temperatures in South Florida heading into the 80-degree range. 80 degrees in West Palm Beach as well as 82 degrees in Orlando. The only cool spot in Florida right now is around Pensacola area, 62 degrees, mainly cloudy conditions there. We do have sea breeze converging in the central portions of Florida, which is allowing for a little bit of convection to occur in central Florida. Winds are ranging around 12 miles per hour in these locations. So with that sea breeze, we're going to start to see a little bit higher some downpours in some of these areas, especially in central Florida. Dew points are very high in South Florida, so when we look at what the muggy meter is talking about, he is not very happy down in South Florida. West Palm Beach is a little bit muggy in these locations, but fairly dry as we head into Tallahassee and the Pensacola area. So a little bit more moisture as we head into South Florida, but that cold front will push in through the region, giving a lot drier conditions as a high pressure builds into the area. And as the next few days, we'll start to see a lot drier conditions and a little bit cooler in the morning hours as well. Across the area, looking at portions of the southeast as well as Florida, just some pop-up showers along portions of Georgia, but down in central Florida, we can start to see that sea breeze developing across most of these areas. Just south of Daytona Beach, there is a storm that is pushing off coast, and so this will be out of the region in the next 15 minutes or so. And just north of Palm Bay, another sea breeze storm pushing off the coast. So as we head into later on tonight, this will start to dry off, and portions of central Florida won't see any rain heading into tonight. Drought conditions across the state are fairly decent, but we haven't had a lot of rain in the past few weeks, so we'll actually start to see this drought conditions actually get into the moderate stages, especially portions of South Florida where they haven't really seen a lot of rain due to cold fronts recently. Over the next 24 hours, expecting downpours in east of Tallahassee, as well as areas just in between Jacksonville and Orlando. Places like Daytona Beach could experience some onshore storms heading into tomorrow morning. And into the afternoon, the panhandle will stay very, very dry, and we will only see some cloud cover across portions of central Florida heading into tomorrow evening. Tonight's forecast going to be fairly pleasant across areas of the panhandle, including Pensacola. 51 degrees for tonight with mainly clear conditions. Areas just east of Tallahassee can experience a few thunderstorms, 50 degrees here in Tallahassee. And more towards the South Florida, 63 degrees in West Palm Beach. A chance for some morning onshore showers as they do have a little bit of an easterly flow in this region. For tomorrow's forecast, keeping things fairly warm across areas of South Florida, 75 degrees in West Palm Beach as well as 81 degrees in Miami. Some rain expected in portions of central Florida, 69 degrees in Orlando as well as 71 degrees in Gainesville. And Pensacola and Tallahassee will see a little bit cooler conditions compared to what we've seen today. 70 degrees in Tallahassee as well as 73 degrees in Pensacola. So it's going to be a beautiful afternoon tomorrow and a great time to head outside for portions of the Panhandle. I'm passing things off to Michael with a look at our final local.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. What's up, Brantley? It's me, Michael. But if you look at it outside, ending off our show with a very gorgeous view out of Doak Campbell Stadium, 75 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. And we had that north-northwest wind behind that cold front that moved through yesterday at 7 miles per hour. But the temperatures across the rest of our region, very nice overall for this springtime afternoon. 71 in Valdosta, 76 in Perry, 71 also in Apalachicola, but they're under sunny skies. And the winds show you this northerly flow behind that cold front that moved through yesterday. Very weak boundary, but it is bringing in that drier air, allowed those dew points to drop just a little bit going into today, with dew points in the upper 40s across a lot of our region, with the only 50-degree dew point down towards Apalachicola with a 53-degree dew point. But again, very dry air across our region. And satellite and radar looks clear right now, but changes are going to happen overnight overnight tonight as this little upper level disturbance behind this cold front. You notice the showers already developing in northern Georgia and metro Atlanta that will dive down towards Tallahassee and give us our rain chances. But it's while you're sleeping. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to see, oh, the ground's wet, but it's sunny outside. What happened? But see, tonight, 50% chance of showers and storms with a low of 49 degrees and with that north-northwest wind of 8 miles per hour. Next 24 hours shows you those storms developing across the eastern part of our region in the eastern Big Bend. At the midnight hour, Intensity will increase as we go into the overnight hours at around 3:30 in the morning. But as we head into the morning hours, all of it is gone. But that northerly easterly wind will allow that cooler air to move into our region. So temperatures tomorrow afternoon won't be as warm as they were the last few days because of this northeasterly wind, but still under sunny skies like the last few days. So really enjoy that. Your day planner shows you maybe a spotty storm lingering at around 8 o'clock under 50 degrees, but the sun will come out very quickly in the morning hours, and we'll have mostly sunny skies at noon at 60 degrees and sunny skies at 67 degrees for 4 p.m. And your week ahead shows you once that system moves out overnight tonight, very tranquil with some warming conditions going into the weekend with 78 degrees on Friday. And our warmest day at Saturday at 81 degrees, but then another cold front moves through our region as we go into Sunday and Monday. So rain chances will be around the 50% mark for your Sunday and Monday, and temperatures taking a little bit of a dip back to around 70 degrees going into early next week. So how do you think about that forecast, Jennifer and Brittany?
I think that 7-day forecast is making it really hard to sit in class this week. It looks absolutely beautiful outside. Do have that chance of rain for tonight into the morning hours, but tomorrow a great day. If you don't have class, I recommend laying by the pool, but if you do, go to class.
Yes, I'm really enjoying the fact that we won't really have any rain with that high pressure moving in. It's going to feel very dry over the next few days, and my hair will especially love that. It won't be too frizzy across the area. But looking at the temperatures, 73 degrees on Thursday, 78 on Friday, so things are going to heat up as we get into the weekend, but another rain chance heading into the later half of the week.
Yeah, a little chilly tomorrow, especially a chilly start with that low of 49 degrees, but we warm up quickly. By Saturday, we're in the 80s again, and like everyone says, Florida just cannot make up its mind.
Nope.
We're hot, we're cold, we're rainy, we're sunny, but we're getting a lot of sun lately. So
that's springtime in Florida. No one else is really complaining, especially with the not a lot of rain chance heading into the rest of this week. So the next front over Monday will probably bring us some more rain chances.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys updated on the timing exactly of the cold front and when to expect any rain chances for this weekend, and if there's a cool down for next week as well coming with that.
Yeah, we also update on social media as well about some of the weather updates, but heading on to the next few days, social media probably will be fairly a little bit on the not a lot of content simpler side. We'll probably talk about dew point and the mugginess over the next few days.
But something we should see really good pictures of is the sunset. So send us your sunset pictures on Twitter. You can like us also on Facebook. We're on there /FSU weather.
You can also watch us live on YouTube and also all of our archives there, youtube.com/FSU weather. And also on Instagram, we can post all your weather photos, especially those sunset photos. Bring them in.
Yes, I'm going to try to get one from our Doak Campbell Stadium tonight. Hopefully we get a beautiful sunset with just a little bit of clouds out there, so it should make for a very lovely end to our night. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.